Okay, guys, it's been another week, and so it's time to update about where my Arcana is at. The big thing that I got this week was my Legendary Grudge engraving book. And this is super useful because that's going to allow me to transition into my relic accessories at some point. So the path I went was Cursed Grudge. This is definitely the more expensive path to go, and I'm probably not going to recoup the cost for a little while. But I went down that path. I think over the course of like a really long time, I spent maybe like upwards of 300k on this stuff. From kind of like saving money at different points in time and selling when prices were really high. I made a lot of money off of Great Honor Leapstones when the cost was really big, and then saved a lot of money by waiting until deflation hit. So that's where I'm at. But I wanted to talk about today how I'm going to move my Arcana forward at this point after I've gotten these legendary engravings. Like, where do I go from here? Okay. And we're going to walk through my scratch sheet and how I look at my gearing and what my plans are for how I'm going to make gold and where I'm going to go. So last week we were selling Great Honor Leapstones and we were just pooling resources and just buying grudge books. This week, because we're done with that, I'm kind of split. I haven't decided if I want to sell more. The key thing that I'm looking for now is actually Empress 5 accessories, which are very expensive and hard to come by for good reason, I suppose. But I'm not even that concerned with the engraving that comes with it, but Empress 5 is really what I'm looking for. And as you can see, these are quite expensive, right? This thing has bad quality and a random engraving on it, and it's already 40k. This one has a random engraving on it. It's good quality, but it's 73k, right? So I might actually look to try to RNG my way into that, and if that's the case, then I should save my Leapstones because I want to eventually continue honing my character. But I've just been kind of like checking back. This is the Empress Grace Grudge 3, and that's 315,000. So that's a ton. But this is kind of like my next step of what I'm focusing on. Also to mention, just as a side note, I picked up a lot of my Nightmare pieces. I've done 2 weeks of Hard Vaulted and Hard Vicus on my Arcana, and I've bought the boxes at the end. So next week I'll be able to finish the weapon without having to buy the box. And that should give me my 6-piece, and that will change my playstyle a lot. Now, to my understanding, Arcana goes into the boundless MP state a lot, and so that additional cooldown reduction I think is going to be really helpful too. But there's still a lot of experimenting that I have to do with that. Okay, let's take a look at, let me bring this up. Let's take a look at my scratch sheet. So the important thing, and I recommend that everybody do this as long as you have some kind of familiarity with sheets. This is my scratch sheet. I just keep track of a bunch of random stuff here. It's very messy. But what I want to focus in on is this portion right here. Let's see if I can border it. This portion right here, this is kind of like my Arcana setup. I'm just going to like walk through this with you guys here. So I have the engravings that I would want, right? This is kind of like the ideal engraving set for Arcana. You got Grudge, Hitmaster Barricade, Cursed All, Adrenaline. Make sure that you guys can see that very clearly. Yeah, should be okay. My camera's not blocking it. Okay, and then we've got Empress here, of course. So our equip engravings, we're going to plan to use our Grudge and our Cursed All legendary equip engravings, of course. Now, I also, I guess I should go back here for a little bit. I've also cut myself a stone that's waiting for me now. That's Hitmaster Barricade 7/7. I'm not going for 9/7 because that's just way too expensive and I don't need to do that at this point in time. So I'm just going to use this 7/7 Hitmaster Barricade stone, right? And it's got attack power reduction 2. So we have that set. So we know what our equip engravings are. We know what our ability stone is. We've got 7/7 over there. And then the last thing that we know is we need Empress level 1 at the very least. Okay, did I misspell Empress? I think it's Empress, right? Okay. Empress 5. So we know we have to have that, right? These are my accessory slots, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of haven't differentiated whether they're necklaces or whatever. But we kind of need to like this could be a necklace, this could be a ring, this could be an earring. Really, I'm letting this Empress 5 accessory be like the most flexible thing because I need to get it the cheapest that I can, and it's the least available, right? So whatever this Empress accessory ends up being, that's what I'm gonna build around. Okay. And then beyond that, we just like make sure that we keep to 2 engravings per line, and we input different combinations of 3 5 3 5 to make these engravings come to life. Okay. So if you just go down the list, we know that 1 grudge is all we need at 3 to max this out, right? So the totals here is 15. And then we know that 1 cursed doll we need to max this out, right? And then for Hitmaster and Barricade, need some combination of 1 3 and 1 5 to do it. So there's a lot of different ways I can do this, right? If I did Grudge Hitmaster and then Barricade Cursed Doll, right? Then I could do Hitmaster 3, Adrenaline 5. Then I could do Barricade 3, Adrenaline 5. And what this would give me is basically a 5x3 engraving, right? We have 4 maxed engravings, right? Hitmaster, Grudge, Barricade, and Cursed Doll are all at 15. And we have Adrenaline at 2, and we have Empress at 1. And this is kind of like where I want to end up at. Okay, so this is a possibility. However, this might not be the most cost-effective way to do this. So there's a bunch of different permutations of stuff that I can do. So for example, let's say it was cheaper for me to get, let's say the cheapest accessories that I could get is Hitmaster Barricade at 5.3 and then Barricade Hitmaster at 5.3. Okay, does that make sense? So basically, I have 2 accessories that are both Hitmaster Barricade. One of them is 5 Hitmaster, 3 Barricade, and then one of them is 3 Hitmaster, 5 Barricade, and those 2 in combination will give me 15 on both of these engravings. And then the additional engraving that I'm looking for on my Grudge 3 accessory is Adrenaline, and then the additional engraving that I'm looking for on my Cursed Doll is Adrenaline, right? This could be cheaper, and I just have to scrape the market to look at that. So let's take a look at some of these prices on the marketplace and see what happens, okay? And we're going to see, because I have the 2 equipped engravings, we're going to see what these costs look like. Specialization is a stat that we want. And let's see, Hitmaster Barricade, how much are these going for? 5.3. Get some of the cheapest prices, right? If we get some crappy quality, it's all the way down to 120, right? Let's say like our quality, let's say we want like 60 or let's say 60 or above, okay, at a minimum. 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold, 2,000 gold, we can get this. Okay, that was a necklace. That's not a good example. So this is 2,750. This is pretty good, right? Got pretty good quality. It's a ring, so maybe we're not too fond of that. But there's earrings at 65, right? This is pretty good. So it's like 2.5k, 3k about for these, right? Now let's swap these. Hitmaster 3, Barricade 5. See if the cost is about the same. Okay. 1,000, 4,000. So it's about the same. These are useless because they're necklaces with bad stats. But 4,000, you know, 4,500. This is a pretty good price for a relic accessory, right? 5,500. This is like 6,000 to 5,000 gold cheaper than usually I think relic accessories end up being at 10k. So now the problem is if we did Hitmaster Barricade, remember according to the sheet, if we have 2 accessories that are Hitmaster Barricade, that means our Grudge and Cursed Doll accessories must be Grudge Adrenaline and Cursed Doll Adrenaline, okay? So we should look at the prices for that. Grudge and then Adrenaline. Okay, and we filtered for 60 quality. So these are all trash because they're necklaces with bad stats in them, so we ignore them. But this price immediately goes up to 16,000 gold, right, for 60 quality and up. It's pretty steep. It's pretty pricey, you know? Now, one of the things that we can do to mitigate this is, let's take a look at rings, and let's drop this to all quality. It's like maybe with rings, we're willing to like reduce the quality a little bit. 11k, right, at its cheapest. It's not that bad. Like 47 quality for 11k is like on a ring. That's not the worst in the world. I'm not losing out on that many stats and I can make this happen. But like maybe I'd be willing to pay 11k and then maybe do like 4k, 4k, 5k on my Hitmaster Barricade accessories that we looked at. Let's take a look at Cursed Doll. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back to all. Go back to 60 and above quality. Search this. That's a little bit cheaper, right? We have some earrings that are like 60 quality that are 8K. This is pretty doable. Like I could swallow this. If I do 11K or 12K, right? Like ideally I would want my earrings actually. So if I filter for earrings, right? Because we'll get cheaper bargains from the ring. So if I do earrings here, then you know I get the price is pretty good. I can get all the way up to 78 quality for 15K. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. The other thing that we can do to save on cost is so one of the hardest things to do is necklace, right? So if we imagine that our necklace would be our Hitmaster barricade, right? Hitmaster 3, barricade 5, right? Search necklace. We try to get big quality, right? 22K. 22K for this stuff. Let's swap this around. Necklace is usually one of the most expensive because you want high quality on it. So this is 30K, so this is super expensive. Now, if we compare that to any kind of like grudge combination or cursed all combination, I expect this to be way more expensive. Doesn't even exist. This doesn't even exist. Cursed all. Yeah, super expensive, right? 75K, 83K. So one of my necklaces definitely has to be at a Hitmaster barricade. So that means I have like 2 rings and an earring that I would have to figure out. This also means that for my Empress accessory, I should look to get an earring or a ring with that. Ideally an earring, well, it depends, right? If I want to save on cost, maybe I get a low quality Empress ring and then I try to get higher quality earrings. But these are considerations that I'm making, and you can see how all these decisions will be predicated on what my Empress accessory ends up being. So based on what we know, this is what I'm going to plan. This is how I'm going to like kind of scout out the future of my Arcana build. So I think what was it? Hitmaster 5 Barricade 3 was like the ideal situation here. So ideally, if we go back to this sheet, we put the neck piece as likely for this, right? This will be the best cost saving. We can get high quality on this, and then ideally this is a ring, and we're not that concerned with the quality. But based on our RNG or what happens with the Empress accessories, this could all change, right? Because the Empress accessory is what's really going to be the biggest cost factor. So I just wanted to update you guys on how my Arcana is coming along. Just kind of like do a little bit of like a vlog thing. And just show you guys how I plan on my accessories and stuff like that. So to summarize, the next steps for my Arcana right now are building gold to potentially get the Empress accessory off the auction house. We're going to constantly be looking at the auction house and searching all Empress 5 accessories and seeing if there's something that makes sense. Necklaces almost never make sense. We've got 40K here. We've got 73K. There was a bid that happened that ended up being about 11K for an Empress accessory that I didn't pull the trigger on. But we're tracking these things, right? I could potentially pay 25K, potentially win this bid on this earring, right? Like low-ish quality earring, but you know, it gets the job done, right? I could potentially bid for that and pick up this earring, in which case then I would then start selling my accessories to or rather I would start selling my Great Honor Leap Stones to then get enough gold to buy the rest of my accessories, and I could move forward in that path. But I think I'm gonna wait one more lockout. The thing is, I can currently complete all the content with this engraving set that I have right now. So I'm in no rush really to like upgrade my set, so I should look for cost effectiveness, okay? So these next few weeks, unless there's something that's like really stands out as value for the Empress accessory that I'm looking for, I probably won't buy it. And I'll see where my RNG leads me, and then continue to stock up gold. And then as I'm doing this process, I'm now also rethinking about pushing my Arcana's gear level, because I finished my legendary engraving set. I've gotten pretty good gems. My equip engraving is done, right? Tripods I've upgraded to a certain point now. So if we look at the tripods, right, it's 542. It's not that bad, right? We've got 552 here. Serendipity still needs a lot of work, but it's hard to like push the tripods intentionally. So really it's just replace my accessories and then up my item level are like the two big things that I'm looking for. Well, let's try a Kundalanium. Let's try a Kundalanium and see where we are at. And my goal when I do Kundalaniums is to try to improve my uptime, like I was talking about. Finding openings and having strong uptime and managing your cards well. And when your cooldowns get desynced, these are all things that I think I have to get better at thinking about. So we'll see how it goes. Pop our awakening early as well to make sure we get our nightmare buff. Oh, I need to put crap. People are doing my job for me. Oh, the boss was right there. Run there a little bit faster. Gonna build 4. Normally I would save my awakening before I had my 4-piece nightmare, but now that I have it, I'm just gonna use it. It does weak point anyways. I want to get into my buff state anyways. Save my cards for when we can actually do damage to this thing. Maneuver around the thing this way. Since I've used my return. Because now my rain is left without a buff. Got to drift some cooldowns. We're in boundless MP now. Good. Actually, I used my cooldowns incorrectly there. Okay. Broke that shell. So the pheromones, since they did the flare for me. So when I do this, I'm gonna Wheel Fortune, Twisted Fate, and Celestial Rain is kind of what I want to do. I wonder if that Sork hit her Doomsday. Draw cards. Activate balance. So we've got Cole here. So draw another card, see what we get. Rock Cole. Make sure our uptime is good. Medusa. But because we've got balance already procced, we don't actually need the Medusa. Looking to do damage here. Oh, I nearly made a mistake there. So we've got Judgment here. Get frozen. Draw a card. So everything's within 5 seconds, so I can use Judgment here. That's the duration of my return buff window. Is 5 seconds. I can just start my burst. Break away from the freeze, and we're gonna return and use Wheel of Fortune here. Oh my gosh, this is so much damage. We just RNG'd into a really powerful card combo. It's already broken for us, so we can get out. counter here. And pop both cards immediately. So far, so good. So far, so good. Man, I can't believe we happened to hit into that card combo. That's why it's always nice to, like, if your Call of Destiny is up and you're about to go, just throw out your Call of Destiny and see what happens, you know? Of course, your Call of Destiny still has the tripod can activate, quick draw can activate when the boss is invulnerable still. So you should always be throwing them. I got another Wheel of Fortune. Same plan. We're going to reset Celestial Rain with it. There it is. Gonna need a spacebar out of this. Let it slam. Do that. It's gonna jump. Oh, I stood a little too far forward. Gonna try not to freeze our teammates. Oh, after this guy. Okay, we activate balance, which is great. What that means is we can do a lot of damage, but I got knocked down because I was an idiot. Use our star. Good. Oh, I think somebody's frozen, so I should stay away. When you have balance, you can get all 3 of your ruin skills in a return buff window. Because you can cycle your skills fast enough to have that happen. Balance, so just keep that in mind. Draw another card, see what we get. Mayhem, we can just use Mayhem. Wait for this freeze to happen. Draw another card, and then we go. Oh, you see, we got Judgment again. It's always good to draw a card before you go. Oh, I thought I had my Serendipity for a counter, but I already used it. Oh, stay away from that. Missed that. That's good. Dodge this way. Use a potion here. Counter. The last phase in Kugelanium is pretty tough. Right there before the end, when I got knocked down, I used both my spiral edges to stay close, so then I had to use Secret Garden really close, but I didn't have my spacebar, right? It's things like that that make it really tough for the Arcana. I wanted my uptime, but then I ended up getting hit because of it, right? Just because of the melee nature of my skills, it makes that situation very tough. But Upright Fighter is not that bad, you know, compared to when we were first entering into Kugelanium. We didn't have our relic set, we didn't have our tripods, our rotation was a lot less smooth, you know. So these are things like, even when you're doing something as simple as a Guardian raid, like, I've always been clearing Kugelanium, but there's always stuff that I can look to work on that will eventually help in Legion raid stuff. I generally find Arcana quite difficult to play in Vicus because you're squishy, and you're basically melee as well. It gets very difficult for you to kind of like push into Vicus because the hits do a lot of damage. And then on top of that, because you're doing stacking before you do damage and your return buff only lasts like 5 seconds, it's hard to have like a window of time where you're where you can confidently just like use all your ruin skills in a way that like keeps their cooldowns neat and tidy. Get in there, draw some cards. Okay. We couldn't get the barricade there since we used our spacebar to run in. That's okay, it's whatever. Not really doing very much damage right now anyways. Away from that orb. Nice, we can use star here, spacebar away from this. Good jump here. No, I'm not gonna do it. pop our mayhem. Really, what we're doing right now is we're just fishing for cards to use for when he comes back, so we can do some damage. That here, he's already invulnerable. We're just fishing for cards. Corrosion, don't really want that. Cards, Royal. Okay, Royal is kind of hard to do. Ideally... Yikes. Not the ideal card combination for that situation, but that's okay. The cooldown of our reign was so long because of extenuating circumstances. It's gonna use our return. Get some damage in. Oh, I walked into the freeze. When Kukulanium is in areas like this, it's so bad. Yeah, and because we have balance here, we can actually use all three of our ruin skills in the return window. Even though Serendipity is not going to do a lot because Serendipity really needs to crit. Okay, we're waiting on our return window here. We can do it now. Star there. That up. Kind of ineffective again. Where are you going, bro? You didn't want to chill with me, literally. The guy didn't want to chill with me. I have a good set of cards here. Somebody said they have, right? Okay, nobody through. Can't draw any cards because I'm full up. But I have good cards. Use jump. I'm gonna use my spiral edge. I want to move out of the way. Get my safety device here, and then we're going. Super armor that. We want to make sure we can finish our combo, so we super armor this. Could be really bad. Oh, I thought I walked to the side enough, but I didn't. In a bad spot, he's gonna jump. On the wall. Okay. Have damage here. Good thing we drew our judgment. Get a little bit of damage as we kite away. We have our awakening back, so we can do some burst damage there. Try to draw a card. See where we're at. Okay, we got judgment. Draw another card here. Ooh. I saw a lot of white numbers, which is really sad. Yeah, definitely want more crit. More crit synergy. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. The Nightmare set has been good. I think when I get the 6 set Nightmare boost, that's going to be a really big changing moment for the Arcana as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But if you guys have any questions or thoughts, let me know. I have been researching the Emperor build on Arcana a little bit, but I think I'm going to hold off. It's something that I want to play around with a little bit more. Maybe I can do that in Inferno mode because I get all the tripods and the gems and stuff like that, you know? Otherwise, when I get the minion set, when I can do gear set conversion, maybe I can consider doing more tests, right? With the Dominion set equipped. But I need more bones and wings to do that. Well, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having fun. I will see you guys on stream if you watch. Otherwise, leave a comment. Let me know what you think.